Welcome back to week 7 of your HRV residence training. I just wanted to welcome you guys back to another week of training. It's going to be a really good week. Of course, every week is a great week, but this week we're going to work on stress exposure therapy. It's just basically this idea that we can introduce stress from our normal daily lives. Maybe if you're a performer, you can look at recordings of yourself, if it's athletic or music or acting, whatever the case is. Usually when you're looking at yourself under stress, like a recording, like if I'm watching a recording of this video and I feel stressed out, your body's actually going to start to mimic those responses that you're having in that moment anyways. And so it's going to be a perfect prompt to help you during your training so that you can really sink back into where you were at that time and then use HRV residence training to get you back to residence. And that way you're training yourself through a little bit of exposure to stress each time that you're doing your training this week. And then you're going to be able to go through more stressful incidences smoothly. So they've done some studies with SWAT teams, for instance, with HRV training, and it's shown that in controlled studies, SWAT officers who use HRV residence training versus the control had increased situational awareness. So the game day moments are basically you creating a list of all the stressors that happen throughout your life. It's not going to be all incomprehensive, but there will be a list of maybe 3 to 5 things that you naturally experience every day. Let's say if the first thing that you experience that's stressful on a daily basis is the morning meetings that you have with your team members. For whatever reason that's stressful for you, write that down in the worksheet and write down whatever else that might occur to you. And then we can actually use the last 3 minutes of your twice per day 20-minute sessions to go through those game day moments and cultivate some visualization with HRV residence training to help you bring down the stress levels of those moments so that throughout your day you're just experiencing less stress and more resonance. That's the goal. We also have power pivots that we'll be working on this week. So 3 times a day you'll do some pivots. So just imagine something happens, you're at the grocery store, somebody cuts you, or I don't know, maybe somebody in line at the grocery store talks about something that you're very uncomfortable about. Whatever it is, you can use 5 breaths to get you into resonance. Just practice 5 breaths because the goal is not so that it will take you 20 minutes to get into resonance. The goal is that you can get into resonance in 3 breaths, 2 breaths, even in 1 breath. So by practicing the power pivot, it's really just allowing you to leverage resonance state as quickly as possible in as compressed of a time period as possible, and that way you can be way more effective at managing the autonomic nervous system according to your intention and to your presence. So shortening the time that it takes this is really the payoff period, is just shortening the time that it takes to get into resonance. So building this in 3 times a day is going to really help shorten that time. You can also use it this week for sleep. So just trying to use it to help you relax in your nighttime routines, or if you wake up in the middle of the night, getting back into resonance state with the intention of relaxing, becoming more calm and connecting into the softness of the space around you instead of into your mind and all your thoughts. So a couple of little things about sleep that I just want to mention, since we're talking about sleep right now, and sleep is so important to your HRV score and obviously to your performance in life in general. With sleep, I would just say try to not eat like 3 to 4 hours before you go to bed every day. If you try that for a week, you'll notice improved sleep throughout that week, and you'll see it starts to build up. So like with the sleep schedule, the same thing. So try to sleep within plus or minus 30 minutes to an hour every day of the time that you went to sleep the night before, or waking up around the same time within plus or minus an hour or to 30 minutes. That way your body can get back into a normal circadian rhythm. It's more predictable for your body, it's less stressful, and that way your body can wake up more naturally and get tired more naturally. That's going to help you sleep deeper and longer throughout the night. A couple of other things is maybe like having a stretch routine or some type of foam rolling routine so that you can just disconnect from whatever happened throughout the day and just get back into your body, using deep breaths, using resonance training to get you back into a state of resonance while you're stretching out can really help. I can also say, as far as supplements go, magnesium threonate is a good one to help with sleep. Also tart cherry. You can get the concentrated juice, or you can get it in powder form, or you can get the pill form. That helps with sleeping more solidly throughout the night. So generally magnesium helps again, and then the tart cherry helps. And then there's something called apigenin, which is chamomile extract. If you take that within maybe an hour or 2 before bed, that can help. If you don't see any benefits with magnesium threonate, which is it's a special form of magnesium that's able to cross your blood to brain barrier, without telling you too much about that, it's just one of the rare forms of magnesium that helps your brain, let's say, relax. But if that's not effective for you, you can also try magnesium glycinate, which is another form of magnesium. It's very easy on the gut, so that some forms of magnesium, say for instance, act as diuretics, and that's probably not what you want to use. But glycinate is a good form, or biglycinate is a good form for helping you relax into the evening or bedtime as well. And then also, if you can cut caffeine, let's say 8 hours before your bedtime, that's a really good window, so that the caffeine is not still in your system, because it has quite a long half-life. So you'll want to ideally not have caffeine, let's say like after 3 p.m. if your bedtime's around 10 to 11 p.m. Okay, so on the last thing I'll say is, if you have any recordings of yourself, either on Zoom, doing auditions, doing performances, fights, whatever the case is, where you're really using an intention of HRV resonance training to help you become a better performer or more present, get these recordings and just watch 2 minutes of them. You don't need to watch too much, but just watch 2 minutes of them to trigger some stress. It could be, reading a bad review that somebody wrote about you. It could be reading in the comment section of your social media or whatever. Something that just kind of gets you amped up a little bit, or maybe even just telling a story to somebody, or recording a story about something that happened that makes you angry, either that day or a long time ago. And just expose yourself to that stress for 2 minutes, and then get into the resonant state by going back into your breath pace and doing that throughout the week. Let me know how that goes. Comment in the comment section if you guys have any questions, or if you guys want to share some things that have helped you last week or this week. And I look forward to seeing you guys on the next video.